A few months ago, I got back from school, and the first thing I saw when I turned to my right was my mom scrolling on Instagram. I told her to put the phone down and to listen to me for a few minutes. I told her all the negatives of social media. It reduces your attention span, it fucks up your mental health, it destroys your life just in general. She somewhat listened to me, so she put the phone to the side and went to check up on the food, and we had a nice conversation after that, and I felt somewhat accomplished that I got her to stop watching social media for a minute. But a few hours went by and I saw her on social media once again. And this is the issue with so many guys. They try to get their family on self-improvement, which for you, getting on self-improvement was already hard enough. But when you're not motivated to improve your life, it's impossible to be on self-improvement. So you need to stop trying to help your family to get on self-improvement, but you do still want to help them improve their lives. So this is what I've learned so far on getting your parents and your family, especially your parents, to improve in their lives. So the first thing you need to do is set an example for them. Because when they see you taking cold showers, when they see you exercising, when they see you meditating, when they see you going out to nature, they're gonna be interested in what you're doing. And you can tell them why you do these kinds of things, like going out to nature. Oh, you go out to nature because it improves my mental health, and that helps me quit video games, quit vaping, quit doing this and that, quit junk food. And when you tell them, oh, I take cold showers because it heats up my body and it helps my mental health. And then when you tell them I exercise because I feel way better and it improves my health, they're gonna be interested in these kinds of things. And especially when after the years go by, they're gonna see you going from this video gamer rat who never goes outside to this man who goes out to nature for his mental health. They're going to see the difference and they're going to start asking you for advice. And this is the first thing that you must do. You need to stop trying to help them and just focus on improving yourself. Because once you set an example, they're going to want to follow you. They're going to want to improve their lives also. Because remember, it's hard enough to be on self-improvement, but if you're not motivated to improve your life, it's impossible. So once they see you after years, after months, that you've changed, they're going to ask you for advice. And this is the first step. You can start giving them some advice and get them interested in the self-improvement thing. Obviously, it's going to be really hard for you to get them to really get into self-improvement. But when you get them to at least improve their lives by watching more educational videos like from Andrew Huberman, this is the first step to improving their lives. Because so far, what I've done is I've helped my parents with a few stuff. I've told them about the negatives of social media, video games, and how I was able to overcome them and all of these things. The next step, so we've kind of done this, but the next step is you need to speak to them more about what you have learned in your self-improvement journey so far. For example, I told my parents that how I was able to quit video games, that I fixed my mental health, and I realized that video games were manipulating my brain to level up in the virtual world, gain more status, gain more money, gain more whatever in video games rather than the real world. And even yesterday, I was talking to my dad, and I was telling him about The Way of the Superior Man and a chapter in it about feminine nature, and he understood why my mom is the way she is. So once you tell them about these things, they're going to get more and more interested. And this is what you want them to get into. You want your parents to really get interested in what you've done, why you've done it, and how it has impacted your life. So you've done this, taking cold showers, because you want to improve your life, because you're self-improvement. But obviously, your parents might not take cold showers, but the greatest thing you can do is not to get your parents on self-improvement. The greatest thing you can do is for them to actually learn from smart people, from intelligent people like Andrew Huberman, Hamza, those kind of people that give good advice. Because once you set the example, they're going to be interested in you. Once you tell them, they're going to be interested in why you're doing things and all this and that. And then they're going to ask you why you're doing that. And then you can speak to them about this and this. And they don't even have to ask you. You can just talk to them about something you've learned. For example, from this video, you can tell them, oh, video games manipulate the masculine brain to gain status, money, and all of this in the virtual world rather than the real one. So you can speak to them about these things. And once you've done this, you can show them where you've learned these things. For example, it could be me or Hamza or Andrew Huberman. And this is what you really want to do. You don't want to get your parents on self-improvement. You want to show them how to improve their lives. And the best way you can do it is probably by showing them Andrew Huberman, because he is a proper scientist who gives really good advice on improving their lives and how. And your parents are probably going to rate him more because, well, he's an adult and they're an adult. So, and the kinds of videos Andrew Huberman makes are really helpful. So if you can get your parents to at least just watch some of his podcasts, then that might just change their lives. Obviously, it might not change their lives as much as, for example, watching these videos and actively trying to improve their lives, because, again, they might not be interested in actively improving their lives because being a self-improvement is hard enough, but if you're not interested, it's basically impossible. So, the greatest thing you can do is show them Andrew Huberman, because he gives really good advice and they can probably relate to him, and he gives good advice on what you've been learning so far about mental health, stress. So they can learn things about stress, sleep, diet, and they can improve their lives without you having to try to improve their lives. So, and if you really think about it, there's just benefit for you, because after a while they're gonna learn like some new sleeping tactic, or how to manage stress, or the psychological side, or ways of breathing, and you can just benefit from this, because eventually in conversations they're gonna speak to you about like, oh, have you heard about Andrew Huberman, psychological side, and it makes you feel so much greater and it makes you focus so much more, and it really just benefits you. So the key takeaway is to stop trying to get your parents on self-improvement. What you really need to do is to get them interested in learning more about this somewhat life improving advice. And once you're able to do that, you can show them Andrew Huberman. And you don't even have to do that really. You don't have to get them interested that much. You can show them Andrew Huberman. You can tell them, oh, he gives really good advice, and you can watch him. Maybe watch his video about testosterone. Maybe watch his video about stress, because I get it that with trying to buy a house, with managing work, it can get really stressful. So you send them that video of Andrew Huberman's stress, and when they realize, they get, oh fuck, this is like really good advice, they're gonna kind of want to keep watching him, and while watching him, they're gonna improve their lives in general. So this is what I've experienced so far. I've gotten my parents to start watching Andrew Huberman, these kind of smart people. Obviously, they still use social media, they still eat a bit of sugar, but less. But I have at least gotten them to improve their lives. So I really hope you can get your parents to improve their lives as well, because once you're able to do that, you can honestly save time, because now you don't have to watch as many Andrew Huberman podcasts to improve your life, if you really think about it. Because now, when you're having conversations with parents, you're actually going to have really good conversations about, for example, like I said, maybe they tell you about the psychological side, or this tip on him, or sleeping faster, or this stress technique, or this breathing technique, or whatever. This is what I really want you to do, to get your parents to start watching more educational videos so they can inevitably improve their lives. So if I learn anything new, I'm going to come here, make another video, and tell you what I have learned, how I have implemented it, and how you can implement it and avoid the mistakes I made. So this is a video for you, and I really hope you can get your parents interested into improving their lives and showing them Andrew Huberman. I'm going to link below Andrew Huberman's channel, and maybe some stress video, because like I said, you can show them, oh, I get it, that you can show your parents, oh, I get that you've been stressed because of the house crisis, or because of job, or whatever. And you can show them that stress video, and then when they realize, they get really good advice from Andrew Huberman, they're going to have to keep watching, and maybe they're going to watch a sleep video, or a stress video, or whatever video from Andrew Huberman, and inevitably they're going to improve their lives. So, that's it for me.